Hi guys, today we're gonna be this is gonna be part 2 of reacting to the Google Docs thing. This is not mine, this is my friend's sister's. My phone is at 2 and yeah, I'm charging it now, so let's get started. I can't really move my arm that much because my dog is sleeping on it and I don't wanna startle her or wake her up. So let's get started. And this is like a vampire story, by the way. And I think this is gonna be peak. So actually, let's get started. I lay in my casket, eyes closed as I sleep, or I believe I am asleep. I do not breathe and I do not need to eat. Consuming is simply a choice for me as I am not human, but in fact a vampire. Yeah, we obviously knew that because it literally says it in the title right here. See? Silly Willy Vampire. Anyway, let's continue. But in fact a vampire. I cannot grasp the concept of how much time has passed for the centuries I've lived, so I assume it has been at the very least so far 200 years since I first went back to my slumber. If it is less, I shall be quite displeased. My name, however, is vastly recognized, for it is Bram Stoker. My skill, Dracula, is considered one of the top 10 calamities that will destroy the world. That's crazy. The blood of whom I drink will be turned into a vampire under my control, if I had that power. You see, I've been impaled by the holy sword Solus Levni, by the hero of humanity, Ochi Fukuchi. Fukuchi is the leader of the military unit called the Hunting Dogs. His true identity is actually Kamui, the leader of the terrorist group called Decay of the Angel. And I myself just so happen to unwillingly be part of that organization. Emphasis on the unwillingly part, unfortunate it is, as I have no body from the neck down. This restricts my ability to use my skill and actually move. Not that I want to, of course, but Fukuchi's skill enables him to increase the strength, speed, and cutting power of any weapon he wields by 100-fold. So essentially, because of the holy sword that I have been impaled upon, when Fukuchi wields it, he has full control over my skill. The only thing I could truly wish to do is sleep. Ugh, movement. Can't an undead lord get some peaceful rest? I open one piercing red eye, looking out of the minuscule gap in the side of my casket. Seeing the shadows shift around, I was right. Fukuchi must be taking me somewhere, whatever. I sleep. The lid of my container is removed, rays of sunlight shining down on me. I squint, hissing only slightly. How long has my slumber been? I asked of the man above me. His reply of only 2 weeks disappoints me immensely. Only enough time for the sun to travel from the middle of the Capricornus to Aquarius? I must sleep, I declare, but Fukuchi does not let me, as he recalls that the last time I awoke I shall be very busy. How I detest these foolish mortals. I care not. I curse those who disrespect my sleep. I have no wish to do this humans biting, but I have no choice. If you remember, I in fact do not possess a body from my neck down. He reminds me of my powerlessness. A young raven-haired man in white clothes lays in a pool of his own blood, slashed at the neck. Great Sagiri, I have no choice but to turn the man into one of my kin. Of one of my kind, or kin. I don't know. I'm just gonna say kin. If Fukuchi wields the sword in my body, he has me drink the man's blood. Disgusting. A weak body with such skill too powerful for it. I suppose Fukuchi wants the man's clothing manipulation skill on his side. Poor me, he should think. I need to stretch for a moment. Okay, how many more? Oh, yeah, I'm never gonna make it. Wait, I just lost where I was. Wait, let's see. I'm gonna read. Finally. I returned to my casket. Time for sleep, I hope, at least, because it seems Fukuchi has put his vampire outbreak plan into place. If only I could sleep for a few years more. 30 minimum would be greatly appreciated, but alas, the mortals will not grant me what I wish. Oops. While we await my next awakening, I shall clear up some common misconceptions about my kind, starting with sunlight. No, it does not burn us, because that would mean we can't go outside at all, because moonlight is reflected sunlight. Alright, I'm just drinking something really. Oh, okay, here. Anyway, continue. That's crazy. My dog wants me to pet her. Okay. No, it does not burn us. That means we can't go outside at all because moonlight is reflected sunlight. It is simply too. It is simply too bright. Garlic is not the vegetable. It is the garlic flowers my kin detests so much. No, we cannot shapeshift into bats. That wouldn't make sense. Flying is also off the list. The indestructible myth is also false, as proven by the Holy Sword. We simply possess great strength, agility, and the ability to not die, unless it's by the wretched Holy Sword. I really hate this blade. On the topic of holy water doesn't do anything to us. I don't even understand the idea that mortals have that vampires like being undead, because none of the vampires are in my position of control over themselves, which I would assume is quite unpleasant. It's nice and dark in here. Perhaps you can tell I'm trying to fill the silence because I have no idea what is on the outside of this coffin. I use the modern term for the casket. Do you see? I'm learning all this new technology is just so confusing. Horseless carriages are interesting. I don't know how they work, and there's music inside little boxes, radios they call them. It is what I truly wish for. A portable music box. Time will pass by quickly for you. Will not comprehend the silence I sit in. I wish I had legs. This is just getting really frustrating. My casket opens up once more. Fukuchi tells me to wake up. He tells me it's time for work. What a slave driver. It'd pain me if I was human. I sigh. He tells me to reach out to my kin and kin and have them by vice commissioner Yasui, and and all our problems will vanish. I demand payment. It bores me. In this coffin I start. Provide me with your futuristic machine orchestra, the so-called radio. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get my hair out of my headphones without trying to move my left arm. um, my dog is like half asleep right now. Um, and all our problems will vanish. I demand payment. It bores me in this coffin. I start. Provide me with your futuristic machine orchestra, the so-called radio. If so, he cuts me off by slamming the lid of my chamber shut. How uncouth. I hear fighting a few minutes or maybe hours later, and suddenly Fukuchi releases me from the coffin by holding me by a lock of my hair. Such a fool. One of his hunting dogs is laying there with his eyes bleeding, an impale wound in the waist. I'm gonna unplug my phone for a moment because I cannot do this at all. My dog is like, stop flashing the light at me, girl. Um, I need to continue. Where was I? Fukuchi asked me how many days I need to turn half the world's military into vampires. I answered with four would suffice. In case they don't understand, I shall elaborate. By four, I mean 4 revolutions around the sun, or 4 crows of the rooster. met with an awkward response. The dying hunting dog laughed in disbelief. Or what in fear is disbelief because you can't see it in his eyes because they are cut open. Oh my god, so much violence. Fukuki killed him, but has he turned him into a vampire?